Good afternoon, and it is the afternoon. I'm running late. Or am I? Or am I just on time? My name is Kirsty Dignam, and I'm here to look at the weekly energies with today's Monday's Musings. This week, with the Aries full moon and with Libra as well, with the sun, it feels really important to balance up how aligned we are based on the often inaccurate image that we hold, not only of what's going on out there, but of ourselves. Talk about ascension, we talk about manifestation, we talk about raising our vibration. Magic is turning lead to gold. Magic is taking something heavy and finding the beauty in it, finding the joy in it, finding it, the, dare I say, laughter in it. Now, I'm not suggesting that you take a situation that is so dire and take the piss out of it. What I'm suggesting is that you look at yourself, what is going on for you, really feel into where you're at and lighten that up a little. And it all depends on how we feel about that. It all depends on our recognition of what the power of fire actually is. You know, it all depends on our view of what it means to come full circle, of what transformation actually involves according to us and where we're at. There's going to be things this week that are going to speak to us on a soul level, and it might be uncomfortable. We might be like, oh shit, oh gosh, I kind of knew that truth. We have a choice. There's always a choice as to whether or not we think, I knew that, why am I avoiding it, or I don't want to know and that's not applicable to me. There's going to be a choice there. The messages are very likely to get louder as the week goes on because there are some things that we cannot avoid. If we can see these from a new perspective, if we can, oh, I wonder what that is actually about, rather than assuming it's linked to everything else that we've been through, it might be a bit easier to free ourselves up here and to celebrate how far we've come. And it feels very much about our own needs and the needs of others as well. That there's a bit of conflict there, that there needs to be a bit of give and take there. Tuesday, it doesn't feel like the day to do anything about it, but to just sit and be with what is occurring, to sit and feel these changes as a result. To recognise that it is in the very things that we've experienced we get to see the true value of life, to know that it's essentially important to our own evolution, but also not to seek it out, to know that it's going to come to us one way or another, to really recognise that natural balance, that flow between us and the universe, to know when to act and when to be, because on the Wednesday we do have the Six of Pentacles and we do have that giving and receiving, compromise. I hear compromise. What person, what version of you is stood in this vision that you have for yourself? How far from that energy? I can't help but smile. How far from that energy are you? What do you need to put in place in order to step into that vibration so that these things start to come into play? How do you feel about that? I don't know how I feel about taking on board the bones of the crone. I know I'm always going to end up doing it anyway. I know that when the time is right, it will happen. And I know it's always been the vision that's guided me. And on the Saturday, we get to get a glimpse of that in the Hermit. We get to see, yes, of course, we can go within. You know, the Hermit on a very mundane level is about going within and tending to our needs. And actually, I want to address that. Why would I say on a very mundane level? Why are our self-care needs being seen as mundane? Why are the simplistic messages right in front of us being seen as irrelevant? Including our feelings, including our reactions. My obvious reaction there, oh, the tarot has to be far deeper than what we see on the surface. Really, really looking into that, because everything is valid. You know, the Hermit, yes, it is about going within. It is about looking at the path that we've walked and the endurance that we've gone through. But it is also about nurturing our own ability to use the vision of who we're becoming to move forward. Recognizing that everything is relevant to the bigger picture. Even the stuff that might feel a little intolerable. muggle-like, insignificant in this magical manifestation world. Response. Okay, how well we can allow things to take off or fizzle out as needed on the Sunday. And I'm so tempted to pull another card. It's like there's another day in the week that we're missing, and actually it's about being comfortable with the not knowing. The not knowing can be at the very beginning of a stage and it's, oh wow, I don't know. No, this is, things have started to move. By Sunday, things have started to become more clear. There are action steps to be put in place. We've lit the fire. The fire is not just a spark, it's starting to really burn quite beautifully. Now what? Nothing. Now we tend to what's in front of us by the end of the week. Now we look at everything that we've discovered and we almost go backwards and apply it. If we can be wise in our actions, that can be incredibly nurturing to who we are. If we can actually step up and do what we say we're going to do, that can just be so powerful this week. It can be a mirror reflection of every relationship that we have. And yes, that's it, not forgetting Libra energy, the relationships, the compromise, the listening, the balance, the to and fro of what it means to be more than one person in this world, the recognition that things take time to come into play, that it isn't solely about us but about others, but it isn't solely about others but also about us. That really feels quite poignant this week, and we have a duality of that, but it's a duality of level pegging, the masculine and the feminine. The ability to feel and do has great promise to come into harmony this week. Almost like a midlife crisis type energy, which is the Five of Wands here, right? Yeah. Now, when I say midlife, it doesn't mean you have to be a certain age. It doesn't mean... What I mean is we're in the very middle of change here, whatever that change may be. You know, we're getting the seasons changing outside, reflecting a darkness, a going within. And some of us don't feel quite ready. And then we're being promised a heat wave in the next few weeks, and it's all over the place. So it's more about our ability to be free and content in change. Find that you don't want to be around it, and you may find, I feel it myself this week, you may find almost like a guilt for not wanting to be part of that. Really feeling into that, knowing that you can step back and hold space for everything that's going on without being in the very centre of it. And that may actually be being asked of you. Relevant, adaptable, evolved energy. When an animal is attacked, and let's face it, we're all attacked, one way or another, whether it's on social media, which is just getting quite profound with cancel culture, and you know, we're all attacked. Whether it's ourselves, when we see ourselves in the mirror or camera and we go, glasses? Really? You know, whatever it may be, when we're less than nurturing to ourselves or others. And when an animal is attacked or faces extinction or danger or, you know, death, they freeze or they run, and then afterwards they shake it off. They dance. They shake that energy off so that it isn't caught in their body. This week, you're going to realise where you haven't shook it off. You're going to realise where you may need to look at the flow that is within you and the impact that that's having around you. This is the only Hierophant card I've ever seen where he's laughing. What if humour, just for today, became our religion, our spirituality? What if just for today we decided to lighten things up? How would that impact our lives? We would see it from a completely different perspective. We would see enlightenment, transcendence from a completely different perspective. And we might just bring in that joy that we've actually been trying to open ourselves up to. My journal, I'm looking down on the floor. I'm just looking down, looking at what's in front of me, and my journal is upside down, just like the Hanged Man. And I can see the words, making room. I was going to add so much more. Having a wonderful week is just perfect. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Take care. Make some room for what you really, really want. Take care.